is a story you're only going to see on KRBC. While scary movies are the closest most people get to ghosts, I decided to go face to face with the spirits of Mulberry Manor.
Okay, Madeline and KRBC's John McMichael spent the night in the historic home to see if the haunting rumors about the manor are true. So here they are in Haunted Big Country, Part 2.
It was a dark and stormy night. Okay, there were actually no storms, but I'm trying to set the mood for mine and John's day in Mulberry Manor. To start things off, we decided to peek around and then sit down to hear a bit of the history of the house, and more importantly, hear about the hauntings.
A little lady that it roams around the house, and a gentleman that's dressed up in a suit and tie from back in the 1900s.
The home was built at the turn of the 20th century and housed the Trammell family before being turned into a sanitarium.
They did a lot of surgeries in the atrium. The basement was the morgue. While
I'm getting creeped out by the history of the manor, John seemed less than amused.
John, what are you doing?
I'm gonna play Tetris while you do. Yeah.
I guess John isn't concerned about the creepy crawlies that we probably are going to encounter.
A lot of old houses have bumps and creaks and that you really can't explain, but I'm not sure if it's ghosts or not.
After telling us some fairly creepy stories,
that lamp flew off of the middle of that bed and crashed into that floor.
It was time for a tour. First, we went upstairs to a room that served as a ballroom, then an operation room, and now it's the honeymoon suite.
Well, I think my ghosts are giving me a little trouble tonight.
With the lights? Or
with the light. They love to play with the lights.
Mm-hmm.
They love to play with the lights.
Then the creepiest part of the tour, the basement.
This was the morgue.
This room?
Well, that's where they kept the bodies.
Okay.
Now we've got exercise equipment in there.
Yeah, same thing. From work to gym.
Exactly.
Two places where people go to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Once John and I were alone in the house, or at least alone with the spirits, we decided to take a little tour. Yeah, it's definitely spooky. Since we are amateur ghost hunters, we weren't sure what equipment was necessary, but we came prepared with a flashlight, a teddy bear, nail polish, and snacks. Since this is a sleepover in a haunted house, we decided telling ghost stories was only fitting. I told an actual story about a guest that stayed in Mulberry Manor.
And then she sees something over her, like something leaning over the bathtub looking at her. And she sees it reaching, and so she busts through the water, and nothing's there.
No thanks.
So, John, do you think anything here is spooky yet?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a few too many beheaded animals to not be spooky.
I concur.
After ghost stories, it was time for bed. John opted for the couch, I think because he was scared, while I took the master suite. It was a long night of nothing. No ghosts decided to visit with us, maybe because they're camera shy. Once daylight flooded the manor, it was time for us to go on to our next adventures. Although I couldn't help but feel someone was watching us go.
You can actually stay in Mulberry Manor or use it for private events. You can contact the owners of the Manor of Sweetwater's Facebook page.